Hey everyone, welcome back. The Apple iPhone 12 event just ended, and all I have to say is, wow. I can't believe how amazing this event was. I actually went into this event thinking, I already know a lot of the leaks that they're going to talk about. I already know most of the stuff that they're going to reveal about the iPhone 12. I'm not going to be that impressed. But I was absolutely blown away. Either Apple really knows how to market their products, which is definitely the case, they definitely do, or the Apple iPhone 12 and the 12 Pro and Pro Max will be as amazing as they tried to sell. There's so much to discuss. I hope you don't mind me using my phone, because there's no way I'm going to remember everything that they talked about. I got some notes, so let's get right into it. So before the event started, on the YouTube video, all the message read was hi, comma, speed. This could mean a lot of things, but after watching the event, we kind of have an idea of what it means. 5G capability along with the speeds of the iPhone 12 and the 12 Pro and Pro Max. Now we understand what high speed means. The event started today with the HomePod Mini, which is going to be $99. This is a device that's similar to the Echo Dot or Google Home. Basically, it's a device where you can say, hey Siri, play this sort of music, do this, do that. My Siri is going off as I'm saying that. But it does come with some new software innovation, which is really cool. There's the intercom feature, which kind of beams whatever you say to the other devices in the household. You can say something to this HomePod Mini, such as, hey, say this to this person, and it'll actually show up on their phone, and it'll show that there was an intercom message. I think that's really cool. That's a very innovative technology, and only Apple would think of something like that. There's also computational audio, where the audio is processed, what you're saying is processed. For a lot of these products that I'm going to discuss that Apple unveiled today, I'm not going to go too in detail. If you'd like more detail, you can check out, I'm pretty sure he'll have a video up. It's Everything Apple Pro. He's made videos for years on everything that Apple releases before they even release it. So that's where I get a lot of my information from. If you'd like more detail on all of these products, definitely check out his channel. I'll link his channel below in the description. I'm more than positive he'll have a video up here shortly. Now, the only question that I had with the HomePod Mini is, are Apple devices the only devices that can connect to the HomePod Mini, or can Samsung devices and other devices connect? Because if it's just Apple devices that can connect, that's kind of a disadvantage for the HomePod Mini. The Google Home and Echo Dot are compatible with any device. If the HomePod Mini is not compatible with all devices and just compatible with Apple devices, I see that as a possible disadvantage, but we'll find out shortly when Apple releases their product page. We can go on there and find more details. After the HomePod, Apple went into detail about their 5G spectrum, had Verizon CEO come on and give a short talk, kind of a introduction to 5G, if you will. They said that as he was speaking, 5G was going to be released across their spectrum, across their Verizon network. So you could say Verizon, I guess, is the first to 5G, even though AT&T has been advertising 5G for I don't even know how many months now. So Verizon's saying that they have 5G capabilities. We'll see how good that actually is. This is the largest release of 5G on anyone's network, so we're going to find out a lot of the issues and bugs from this and then go from there. So I'm really curious to see how 5G does and how well these new devices do with 5G. Along with that, Ceramic Shield was introduced as this new layer of protection on iPhones. It's this new glass that iPhone is using, or Apple is using. If you're somebody that breaks your phones often, especially your screen, then Ceramic Shield would be something that you probably love. Now, getting into the iPhones, the iPhone 12 starts at $799. What's really cool about all these iPhones is that they'll have organic LED across all of their devices and double the resolution on all of their devices. That's a huge upgrade for any Apple device, even the basic iPhone 12 model. And I use the term basic, but the iPhone 12 is really not basic compared to the phones from the last few years. Apple went into detail about the A14 Bionic chip, which has 11.8 billion transistors, 6-core CPU in a phone, which is mind-boggling, in a phone. And because of that, now you can play League of Legends on your device, which is, I don't even know. That's on your device. You can play League of Legends. I actually just played my first League of Legends game a few days ago, and I'm really bad. But I guess now I can play it on my phone. Apple also went into detail about machine learning and how machine learning capabilities have enhanced this year's iPhone. The iPhone 12 will do a lot with machine learning. iPhone 11 also did, 11 Pro, 11 Pro Max. But even further now, machine learning seems to be such a prominent tool that's being used. For the iPhone 12, they have a new dual camera layout. The new wide camera has a f1.6 aperture, and there's a 7-element lens for crisp details and low light performance, which is a huge upgrade to any iPhone camera. The only thought that I had when hearing about this, when Apple was talking about this, was, hasn't Samsung been doing this for years now? But then I remembered, Apple does things a few years late. They do things at their own speed. Going back to the machine learning, there is Smart HDR3, which is machine learning that enhances your photo. So when you take a photo, your iPhone will be able to detect where the photo was taken, and it'll be able to enhance black levels, enhance low light sensitivity, and things of that nature, which is pretty cool. In my opinion, if I take a picture, I'd like it to be as accurate as possible, and iPhone and Apple are trying to say that this is what they're enhancing. I want to take my picture the way that the camera takes it, and I don't want anything to be enhanced, because then you do kind of get into an edited picture that might not look as accurate or as real. So I'm really curious to see how Smart HDR3 does. Now, Apple went into a little bit of detail with night mode, talking about how it's the best night mode out of any camera. I don't know if I believe that, but Apple's night mode is actually really nice. So night mode also saw an upgrade with the new f1.6 aperture lens. The faster aperture captures more light, and night mode is also on the front-facing cameras as well on the iPhone 12s, which is crazy. And there's also night mode time-lapse. Following this, MagSafe was introduced. Now, MagSafe is something that we did know about through the leaks over the last few months. So MagSafe is basically magnets that are on the back of the phone. This is something that I am really happy about. Let me just show you something really quick. So if I take off my case, I don't have a magnet here anymore because I put a magnet on the inside. I had to usually stick this magnet to the back of my phone case, but now that there's MagSafe, there'll be magnets on the back of the phone already inside of the shell, so you won't need any additional magnets. You could just connect this to your phone, or there's new cases that will be built where you can connect like a wallet that has magnets on the back, and you can connect it right here to your case. That's really cool. I think MagSafe is going to be something that Apple really develops and enhances over the next few years. So the iPhone 12 mini was a product that I had no idea Apple was going to reveal today. I actually didn't even know that it was in production. I'm really happy that it was, because if you're somebody that has smaller hands, the iPhone 12 mini will give you a smaller shell but the same screen size as the other iPhone 12. So that's pretty crazy to me that it's a smaller phone, same screen size, 4.8-inch display, and I see this as a nod to the iPhone 5S. Now, going to the iPhone 12 Pro, this starts at $999, and it also starts at 128 gigabytes for the capacity starting off. A few years ago, we were only at 16 gigs, and now we're at 128. Memory is starting to increase like crazy. Base storage 128. Awesome. The iPhone 12 will have a 5nm transistor and Super Retina XDR display like we talked about earlier, a 6.1-inch display. It'll have the same form factor as the iPhone 11 Pro with 3.5 million pixels, deep fusion on this camera and the iPhone 12 Pro Max, the ultra-wide camera lens with f1.6 aperture. So the wide lens will also have the f1.6, and then 52mm telephoto camera with 4 times the optical zoom. So huge improvements to the camera. It seems like every year Apple does improve. Every year any phone will improve the cameras. There's also Pro Video HDR recording. Records in 10-bit high dynamic range, so this will give you better colors. This will also be the first camera to record in Dolby Vision HDR, and also you can edit everything right within the app now. This is very interesting. I feel like Apple is trying to eliminate Photoshop and Lightroom and things like that. Maybe not Photoshop, but Lightroom or any video editing tools, because you can just do everything straight within the app. So a one-house shop for everything. The iPhone 12 Pro Max will be $1099, so the same price as the phones last year. The iPhone 12 Pro is $999, the Pro Max will be $1099. Over the last few years, the Pro Max hasn't been a substantial upgrade compared to the Pro. The only thing that's really been different is the phone screen size. This year, there are big differences to the camera for the Pro Max compared to the Pro. So the iPhone 12 Pro Max will be a 6.7-inch display with a 65mm telephoto lens with 5 times the optical zoom. So the iPhone 12 Pro was 52mm with 4 times optical zoom, compared to the Pro Max 65mm with 5 times optical zoom. There's also a new sensor in the Pro Max with 87% improvement in low light settings. So Apple really is enhancing low light settings and night mode this year. So sensor shift is a new feature that Apple also released for optical image stabilization. There was a part of their event today where they showed a car riding through the desert, and there was an iPhone connected to the back of the car recording a bunch of horses running on the side. You would think that the camera would be moving a lot. You wouldn't be able to see anything when the phone records. But when they showed the video's output, the phone was very stable, and that would be because of sensor shift. There was also Apple Pro RAW, so it's going to be available in the camera app later this year. So this uses Deep Fusion and Smart HDR in RAW format without any shutter delay. Basically, it's Lightroom within the camera app, like I stated earlier, which is really cool. It's a really cool capability. You'll be able to, if you're somebody that likes to edit your pictures in RAW, you'll be able to edit everything right within the app. Apple then went into LiDAR, which stands for light detection and ranging. Again, when I was typing LiDAR in my phone, it automatically corrected to the right spelling. So this is something that we could have known about for a while if we had known what to look up. Apple could have been giving us hints this whole time, and we didn't know that, it was right in front of our eyes. So LiDAR allows for precise placement of AI objects. So what they were showing was if there's an empty room, let's say you're moving into a new house, you want to see where furniture is going to be, you can just hold up your camera app and LiDAR will help you see where you would want to put your furniture and things like that. Now this is something that a lot of companies have already been using, but again, Apple likes to take things and enhance them and make them even better. So the LiDAR scanner is 6 times faster in low light setting, which allows for better details in pictures in low light. And then your phone works with 5G, and LiDAR works with 5G simultaneously to basically equip an empty room, if you will. Now the colors that the Pro and the Pro Max will come with are Pacific Blue, Gold, Graphite, and Silver. Silver, Graphite, we've already known about those for years, and Gold obviously as well, but the Pacific Blue looks really nice. Last year was this green color, now it's Pacific Blue, and they both look awesome. So the iPhone 12 and 12 Pro pre-orders start October 16th and are available October 23rd, so this week, and then available next week. So that's the 12 and the 12 Pros. And then the 12 Pro Max and the Mini pre-orders start November 6th and ship November 13th. So November is going to be a busy month with all the new consoles releasing and the 12 Pro Max and 12 Mini. But if you wanted a phone right away, you could get the Pro and the 12s this week. So I wanted to end this video with just my thoughts, some things I wanted to put out there, and if they stick, they stick. If they don't, they don't. So this was a year where Apple was supposed to change the way that their phones look. That's usually how they go every few years. And the phone will look the same for the most part as the 11 Pro, just square edges, similar to the iPhone 5S. If you're somebody that is expecting huge changes, I think you're going to be disappointed every year. It's hard for phones to change drastically every year at this point, just because we've done so much with phones. They're already at their peak capabilities. Going forward, I really don't expect these phones to look too different unless we get to like hologram forms or 3D forms. The only thing that might change is machine learning and AI, but that's all inside of the phones. A few times in this video I've mentioned that Apple does things 3 years behind, but what's really cool is that Apple does things at their own pace. So they'll decide when they want to release something, they work on it, make it perfect, and then release it. So for those of you that are looking to the classic argument that Samsung is the first to do this and the first to do that, or LG does this first that, that's cool, that's okay, but I think it's time to put that argument to rest, because Apple does everything at their own speed, fashionably late, but they do everything in fashion. So this year's iPhone utilizes all this new machine learning capabilities and AI learning capabilities. I think going forward, this will be enhanced and made better and better. A lot of phones have started to do this over the last few years. Apple is just getting into it now. So I think for the first year or so, maybe it won't be the best in terms of efficiency, but as the years go by, I believe that Apple will do this better than anybody else with their machine learning algorithms. Apple also did a really good job today of tying different components of their phones together. So for example, LiDAR with 5G, or Deep Fusion with night mode and LiDAR. They're doing a great job of tying the different components of their phones together and making you think that this is a phone that can do everything for you. So with the new video capabilities, Apple called to the film industry a few times saying, hey, our phones are something you can use to create Hollywood level films. Now, as enticing as that is, I think that that was some form of reverse psychology for consumers to hear that and think, okay, this device will help me create Hollywood level films just like the directors do. I think that people that know what they're doing might be able to utilize all of this, but for the general consumers, I think that with the new video technology and the machine learning, we'll be able to create okay films, but not Hollywood level films. Finally, I think Apple is trying to replace products like Lightroom and maybe any video editing tools, so that Apple does have their own video editing software, but I think that they're trying to replace Lightroom or convince you that maybe you don't need Lightroom anymore, you can just do everything in-house, which is really cool. That caps off all of the changes that Apple unveiled today. I know I did rush everything a little bit and speak a little quickly because there's so much to unveil. Let me know what item... So that's the end of everything that Apple released today. I know I did speak a little bit quickly because there's so much to talk about. I'm really looking forward to the new iPhones. I actually was telling myself I'm going to keep my 11 Pro, but I think with everything that they unveiled today, I might upgrade to the 12 Pro. I don't know yet. Let me know if you're going to upgrade. Let me know what your favorite features were, and I'll see you in the next video.